Hey everyone, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be talking about logging in and switching users in a multi-user target. So yeah, as always, I have my web page here on the side that I'm going to be referencing in this video, and we're just going to get right into it. So pull up your terminal, and this is going to be server 1, and we know that. How? Because we can do something like host name, right? And then, so switching users, right? So logging in means providing credentials to access the system. So when we logged into the system, we put in our credentials with our password and the user account name, and then we logged in. Now, one thing that we want to do is we don't always have the same permissions as like a basic account that we made. It might not have admin rights, it might be a basic user, and then we might have to switch to another user with more rights, for example, like root. And then so that's what we're going to learn how to do today. So the command that we're going to use for that is going to be su, and here we go. Some people say substitute user, other people say switch user. I like just to say switch user because that's normal for me. Now here you can see you can have a couple options. The main option that we want to focus on here is going to be this one here. So it can be either this dash or dash L or dash login. Okay. So let's do that. So right now we can find out who we are, right? What current user we are by using this command, right? So who am I? I'm learner right now. And then we can issue, so let's leave that up there. We can issue the switch user command, right? So if we do it with no options like this, it'll ask us for the password of the root account, okay? And so we become root. So who am I again? And see, it won't have that same history. It'll be who am I like this, and we're root, okay? And then, so as you can see, where are we? Right, with the PWD, we're in the learner directory still, right? So what we want to do is we don't want to switch and then stay in the learner directory because then we'll make changes in the learners directory. What we want to do is, for example, let us control D out, and then who am I? We become learner again. I'll just control here to clear it up. And then so we're going to use that option that we talked about, which is the switch like this. And then what this will do, it's asking us for the password of the root account. It'll put us in the root home directory, right? So if we look back again at man su, we can see here, start the shell as a login shell with an environment similar to a real login. Okay, that's exactly what that means. Changes to the target's user's home directory, okay? That's exactly what we want to do. So to get in the habit of doing that, that way you're not in the directory of whatever user you're coming from. Okay. To switch it back, so you can switch back to or switch to another user, for example, right? So let's say we want to put another user as an argument, and in this case we just want to use learner, so we can do dash like this or dash L, doesn't matter, and we can do learner like this. And then we can switch back to learner there using the su-l learner, okay? Okay, and then so we can control D back as like that. So, control D one more time here. And control D all the way back to the beginning here where we were. And we can do, for example, let's log back in to the user account here, so, or the root account like this. Again, and now we're in the home directory, right? And then another command that we can issue is log name like this. And this will show us here that I have, it's going to show us the user who originally logged in, okay? And so we can man that as well, log name like this, and print user's login name, and print the user of the, or print the name of the current user, okay? But in this case, it refers to the user who originally logged into the system, okay? We want to control D out of there, go back to the learner account, because a word of warning that I also put here in the web page is the root account is powerful. It can do anything. You can pretty much damage the entire system with the root account with just the wrong command or a typo. So, be careful. But normally get comfortable using the root as well, and it'll be good practice, because then you'll always consider and scrutinize your commands and make sure that you're properly putting in the right command. Now, something else that I want to explain here is the part about the objective that talks about multi-user targets, right? So a target, let's explain that part first. A target is a collection of units, and units just refer to the configuration files, right? And then that's all that means. Now, to get to see where that is, we use the command called systemctl. And that is systemctl get default here. Like I have it here, right? And so you can see here, our system is the graphical target. And then so this target brings in all the configuration files, pulls them in to create a graphical environment, right? So this means like all the documents that refer to the GNOME and the desktop environment, and it brings it all in and it starts it. Now this is just a bigger piece of systemd. And that's all it is. It's just a collection of configuration files that refer to a certain environment that you want to get into, right? And then the one I'm going to mention here that I didn't mention in the webpage is one called like the emergency target. And so in that one, that's a very minimal system where a lot of things don't get brought in, like the networking stack doesn't get brought in. And it's a very limited environment because maybe something happened where a configuration file got changed, and then now the system just is out of whack and it can't process. So you can, to try to troubleshoot that, you can go into an emergency target where the environment is just so limited and a lot of processes and services don't get started. So you can start troubleshooting and access certain files that maybe you've corrupted or misconfigured. So that's the purpose of targets. It's just to provide an environment related to the desired environment. So in this case, graphical target for a graphical like GUI or GUI environment is called the graphical target, and all those targets, all those files that create that environment are targeted here. So that's all. And then so even one more thing that I want to mention here is this last command here is to list them all. And then in this case, we're going to list them here, ctl systemctl list units, and then we're going to do type, and then it's going to be equal target like this. Okay, and as you can see here, there's plenty of them. Okay, and then so the ones that we're talking about, for example, are the graphical target here. Okay, so graphical interface. Let's see, there's a bunch of other ones that we can go through, but in this case, I just want to focus on understanding where it is, and then when we talk about systemd in the future labs, that's when we'll mention it. One thing that I did want to mention is in server 1, as we can see that we get a graphical target. So log in into server 2 and then run that command to get the default target and see what you get there for that server 2 and that minimal install. Thank you so much. Have a good one.